Most men think attraction is about what you say, what you text, what you show. They're wrong. Attraction, real attraction, is built in moments where words disappear. Moments where she doesn't just see you, she feels you. And if you understand where and how to create that feeling, she won't want the night to end. She'll be the one hoping you stay. Body. Let me tell you something most people will never admit. A woman doesn't respond to touch. She responds to how that touch makes her feel inside. It's never about force. It's never about rushing. It's about timing, control, and emotional presence. There's a moment when you lightly hold her arm during a conversation, not tight, not demanding, just enough to pause her for a second. And in that pause, her attention locks onto you. Because you didn't ask for it, you created it. Then, there's the space between distance and closeness. Your hand resting lightly near her lower back as you move together, not to control her, but to create alignment. Your presence becomes something she can feel not just see. And that feeling starts to settle deeper than logic. Now everything slows down. You don't rush forward, you don't overdo anything. You simply get closer. Not aggressively, not suddenly, but naturally until she becomes aware of your presence near her neck, her space, her energy. In that awareness, that's where tension begins. Then comes the moment most men destroy, the hand. When you hold her hand, it's not casual, it's slow, intentional, controlled. You don't grab, you don't fidget. You let it happen like it was always meant to. And when it's right, she doesn't pull away. She settles into it. Your voice lowers, you move slightly closer. Now it's not about touch anymore, it's about proximity. The kind where she can feel your presence without you needing to prove anything. And her world quietly starts focusing on you. But here's the part that changes everything. You don't stay too long. You don't chase the moment. You slowly, calmly pull back, and that's when it hits her, the absence, the sudden space where your presence used to be. Ending. Because attraction is never about holding on, it's about creating something and then letting her want it back. You don't make her stay. You don't convince her. You don't force anything. You simply create moments she can't ignore, feelings she didn't expect, and a presence she doesn't want to lose. And that's when everything changes, because now, she's not waiting for you to leave, she's hoping you don't. This is not about grabbing attention, it's about pausing her world for a second. The arm pause happens in the middle of something normal, a conversation, a laugh, a passing moment where nothing special is supposed to happen. And that's exactly why it works. You're talking, she's responding, everything is flowing casually, and then, for a brief second, your hand meets her arm. Not aggressively, not suddenly, just there, calm and controlled. But instead of pulling away instantly like everyone else, would you hold it? Just a second longer than expected. That's the moment where everything shifts, because the human mind is trained for patterns, quick touches, fast movements, predictable behavior. But when you pause you break that pattern, and when a pattern breaks, attention locks in. Her focus moves from the conversation to the feeling. Not because it's intense, but because it's different. The key is pressure and stillness. Your touch isn't tight, it isn't weak, it's steady. There's no nervous movement, no hesitation, just a quiet confidence in that one point of contact, and while your hand is there, you don't rush your words. You slow down slightly, your tone stays calm, your eye contact holds just a little longer. Now the moment stretches, and she feels it. Not as something obvious, but as something unusual. What makes this powerful isn't the touch itself. It's the fact that you're not asking for permission with words, but you're not forcing anything either. You're simply creating a moment where she becomes aware of you in a different way, and if she's comfortable, she doesn't pull away. She stays, and that tells you everything. Then comes the most important part, you release. but not instantly. Not abruptly, you let your hand slide away naturally, like the moment completed itself, and in that exact second, there's a shift. Because now she notices the absence, a small gap where something just was, and her mind registers it before she can explain it. She might continue talking, she might keep smiling, but internally, something changed. You're no longer just someone she's speaking to, you're someone she felt asterisk. And once that happens, the interaction is no longer ordinary. It becomes something she starts paying attention to without even realizing why. This is where closeness stops being visual and starts becoming physical. The lower back presence isn't about leading her, it's about placing yourself in her awareness without saying anything. You're moving together, maybe walking, maybe shifting through a space, and naturally, your hand finds that area just above her waist. Not grabbing, not pressing, just resting there lightly, and that's what changes everything, because that part of the body is sensitive to presence. It's not a place people casually touch, so when it happens calmly and naturally, it gets noticed immediately. Not as alarm, but as awareness. The power here is in how subtle it feels. Your hand doesn't stay fixed or stiff. It's relaxed, almost like it belongs there for that moment. There's no tension in your movement, no hesitation. That confidence removes resistance, because when something feels forced, the body reacts. But when it feels natural, the body accepts. What this touch really does is create alignment. Before that moment, you're just two people walking side by side. After that moment, your movements start syncing, your pace adjusts, the space between you disappears. There's a quiet coordination that happens without words, and she feels that shift, not logically, but physically. The key is awareness. You're not holding her in place, you're not directing her movement. You're simply there close enough that she becomes aware of your presence in a deeper way. And that awareness creates a sense of connection, because now it's not just about being near each other, it's about moving asterisk together. Asterisk in crowded environments, this becomes even stronger. There's movement all around, people passing by, noise, distraction, and your hand becomes a steady point. Not protective in an obvious way, but grounding, something constant in the middle of everything else. And then, just like that, it fades. You don't hold it too long. You don't make it noticeable. You simply let your hand leave smoothly, naturally, like nothing changed. But something did, because for a moment you weren't just beside her, you were part of how she experienced that space. And once someone feels that, it doesn't just disappear. This is where distance turns into awareness without a single direct touch. The neck awareness isn't about contact, it's about proximity. There's a moment when you move slightly closer, maybe while talking, maybe when the environment naturally brings you in, and suddenly, you're within that space most people never enter. Not invading, not rushing, just closer than normal, and that's what she notices first. Not what you're doing, but where you are . That area around the neck is highly sensitive to presence. You don't even have to touch it. Just being near with calm, steady energy creates a reaction. Her awareness sharpens, her focus shifts, because now it's not just a conversation anymore, it's a moment she can feel . The key here is control. You don't lean in quickly. You don't make sudden movements. Everything slows down. Your voice lowers slightly, your tone becomes more grounded, and your distance closes just enough that she becomes conscious of it. And when someone becomes aware of that space, they stop thinking normally. They start feeling . What makes this powerful is that it creates tension without contact. There's nothing obvious happening, no clear action to react to, but something is building, a quiet pressure, a subtle pull, and because there's no direct touch, her mind fills in the gap. She becomes more aware of you than if you had done something obvious. You're not forcing closeness, you're allowing it to happen naturally within the flow of the moment. And if she's comfortable, she doesn't step back, she stays. Sometimes she even leans in slightly without realizing it. That's when you know the moment is real. Then you don't push further. You don't break the balance. You simply hold that space for a second longer and then ease back out of it, slowly, calmly, and that's what stays with her. Not a touch, not a specific action, but the feeling of how close you were and how aware she became in that moment. Because when someone feels your presence without you even touching them, you stop being just another person around them and become something they can't ignore. This is where connection becomes intentional, but still feels effortless. The slow hand hold isn't something you rush into, it happens when the moment is already there. You're talking, walking, sharing space, and at some point your hand meets hers, not by grabbing, not by forcing it into place. It happens naturally, like both of you arrived there without needing to decide it. And when it happens, you don't tighten your grip. You don't fidget. You don't adjust nervously. Your hand stays calm, steady, like there's no reason for it to be anywhere else. That stillness is what makes it powerful, because most people overthink this moment. Their energy becomes restless, unsure, and that uncertainty gets felt instantly. But when your touch is controlled, relaxed, grounded, it creates comfort instead of tension. The pace matters more than anything. You don't move fast. You don't rush to make it mean something. You let the moment breathe. Your fingers don't squeeze, they rest. Your hand doesn't demand it connects, and slowly she adjusts to that feeling, not consciously but naturally. What this does is shift the dynamic. Before this, there was distance. Now there's a shared point of connection. Something quiet but real, and because it's not forced, it doesn't trigger resistance. It feels mutual even if you were the one who initiated it. The real impact happens in the silence. No words are needed. No explanation. Just that one point where both of you are connected without pressure, without expectation. And in that silence, awareness grows. Then comes the moment that defines everything. You don't hold on forever. You don't wait until it becomes awkward. You simply let go, slowly, like the moment reached its natural end. And as your hand leaves, there's a shift, a small absence, a quiet awareness that something just changed. She might not react outwardly, but internally she felt it. Because for a brief moment there was connection without effort, and that's the kind of feeling people don't forget. This is where everything turns, not in what you do, but in what you don't do. The exit delay isn't about leaving, it's about how you leave. There's always a moment when the interaction could end conversation, slowing down, energy settling, a natural point where most people either rush forward or disappear too quickly. But you don't do either. You pause, not long enough to be awkward, just enough to be felt. Instead of stepping away immediately, you stay for a second longer. Your body doesn't move fast, your energy doesn't drop. You're still there, present, calm, like the moment isn't something you're trying to escape from. And that pause, that's what creates impact, because most people are predictable. They either cling, trying to extend the moment too much, or they cut it short, afraid of overstaying. But when you hold that space briefly, without forcing anything, you create uncertainty, and uncertainty creates attention. Your eye contact softens slightly, your movement slows, and for a second, it feels like something might continue. Not guaranteed, not pushed, just possible. Then you begin to step away, not sharply, not like you're breaking the moment, but gradually, like it's unfolding on its own. And this is where the shift happens, because as you leave, she becomes aware of it. Not consciously at first, but she feels the change, the presence that was just there, starting to fade. That's what stays with her, not the time you spent, but the way it ended, because a clean, controlled exit, it leaves something unfinished. And unfinished moments don't disappear, they linger, they replay, they create a quiet pull you didn't chase. You didn't overstay, you didn't force a continuation. You simply created something real and left before it could lose its value. And that's what changes everything, because now instead of you trying to extend the moment, she's the one who feels it slipping away. And when someone feels that they don't forget you, they wonder about you, and more importantly, they start wanting more time with you without you asking for it.